All right. What's up, guys? We are the Project Y equals MX+B podcast, the brand new podcast talking about movies, TV shows, and the like. I'm Deepesh.
And my name is Shalin. Me and Deepesh have both loved movies for a very long time, and we thought, why not create something out of it and create a podcast to rank different things, just talk about movies we like and enjoy.
Yes, sir. And today we are going to be talking about just because, we're both engineering majors in college, we thought we'd start off by talking about our favorite science related movies. Now, for me, I thought of it as like, anything that really takes in like the science part and kind of makes it still like it brings in the fiction to it. It's sci-fi, but it's not way too sci-fi to the point that it's just like, what are you thinking, right? Like I basically interpret it as like it brings in science in there, tries to make it somewhat realistic, and still has a really good story.
Yeah, basically, I tried to keep it towards the same. Again, there's not really that many movies that I've seen that like is mainly science, so that's why we like broadened it more to like sci-fi. But we also did not want to include any like massive cinematic universes like Marvel, DC. Like we didn't want any of those movies because, especially for me, I'm a huge Marvel fan, so that would have like took up a lot of it if we were including those type of sci-fi movies. So yeah, I think we'll just each start like we'll just say like 10 through 1. We'll just go. And each of us actually we don't know each other's rankings. So once we hear each other's, we'll like react.
All right, so at number 10, honestly, I couldn't really think of like that many actually, just because like we were getting rid of all the cinematic universes and like,
Yeah.
but I said Hidden Figures.
Okay, that's
Now,
good.
the reason why is because I'm a huge like, I'm an aerospace engineering major, so I just love anything related to science, really. I mean, sorry, related to space, really. So Hidden Figures was just like a really good, story about talking about, it was a true story too, like talking about, those three women in NASA and, finally getting Alan Shepard to space, which was actually a really good depiction of everything and just amazing acting by everybody. And yeah, it was just a really great movie to watch.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I have to rewatch it though, because the first time I watched it, it was during like math class,
Oh,
like at the end of the year. So
yeah.
actually it was CS, I think. I don't know.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, I have to rewatch that though. Okay,
Nice.
so I guess for my number 10, this is more of like a science fiction movie than science, but I have Ready Player One.
Ew,
Uh,
oh, God.
I don't know. You didn't like it, I don't
Yeah, no,
think,
I
but
hated Ready Player One.
I liked it a lot. I mean, it takes like mainly video games and like the science aspect of like VR and like society later. It's more of like a technology movie, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie by Steven Spielberg. Had a good like soundtrack, and I did enjoy the movie a lot. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Starting at 9, I put Dune.
Oh,
So
ooh,
yeah,
okay.
Brandon Dune, yeah. A lot of people said like that it's like one of their favorite sci-fi movies of all time. I don't know. Me personally, like Dune, I feel like once like the next two, like three movie or sorry, no, I think they're having like a trilogy. So I think the next two movies, I think once those come out, I'll probably rank it higher. Just because we literally just got an intro to Dune and that's it. Not much to it. So I think I'm just waiting for more just to, see how the story plays out and everything. It's our first time seeing the whole universe, so yeah.
Yeah, the second one comes out November this year, pretty sure.
Oh,
Super
okay. All right.
excited.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
gonna be nice.
Yeah. Okay. At my number 9, now we're going more into science, is a movie, First Man. It's about Neil
Oh,
Armstrong,
okay. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, and it's Damien Chazelle, which is like probably one of my top 5 favorite directors of all time. But yeah, I love that movie. I like watched it recently over this summer. Like the soundtrack is perfect. Like, I mean, I feel like it was a little slow at some points to get started, but like overall, I enjoyed it. Ryan Gosling did really good job in the role of Neil Armstrong, and yeah,
Nice. Yeah. I actually haven't seen that movie. I think I
really,
might.
you have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. I know. I feel it. It's space, right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
swear I got it. Yeah. So I'm gonna check it out. So for number 8, I got Tenet. So the thing is, I know everybody's just gonna say, that was like the most confusing movie they've ever seen. To be honest, they're not wrong. That was a pretty confusing movie. But I actually gave it more of like a rewatch, and I actually watched like a lot of YouTube to try and just like understand everything. And I actually liked it a lot. Just sort of like how I love how Chris Nolan is able to sort of like relate, the beginning to the end and like the middle to the other middle, right? Like he's able to like put everything together and just make it like, a somewhat cohesive story. There's some points where it's just like kind of falls off and, maybe there's a little confusing parts here and there. But I feel like I was able to understand, as much as I could. I wouldn't say that I understand everything, but it was still really good and had great action. And it's a very like unique, science concept. I love how Chris Nolan sort of like breaks the boundaries of science, with reverse entropy and all that, whatever that is, just how he's able to bring all of that in, I like that a lot. So that's why I'd put it at around 8.
Yeah, I watched that. The first time I did not understand a thing. I had to watch a YouTube video. Then I watched it like a second time, and then that's when I understood it more. But yeah, it's pretty good. It might be my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie,
Oh, damn.
but it's still okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, for my number 8 is a more recent movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay.
So this movie, I mean, it just came out. Like I watched it first time again, same like Tenet, super confusing. Again, also this is more of like a sci-fi movie than science, really. But yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, what did I just watch? Like it's so much randomness and a lot of crazy things going on. But then I rewatched it and then like I actually understood the deeper meaning a lot more. It overall, I mean, it won the Oscar for Best Picture. So it
Well,
overall
like
had like,
half the Oscars.
yeah, like a lot of them. It overall had like a really good story, great acting, like the message at the end, and it was a lot of fun to had. It was a good take on multiverse.
Well, the funny thing is that at my number 7 is also Everything Everywhere All at Once, except it's my number 7. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I know a lot of people would probably like put it higher. Like everyone's like, oh, it's a 10 out of 10
Yeah.
movie and this and that. But like, I don't know, just like with the movie, like, I saw it on a plane, so it was kind of like iffy. I mean, I was definitely paying attention to it, but like, and it's like, it's Asian, so it kind of relates, so with everything. But I don't really know, man. It's like I think I've seen a lot better like science movies, but sci-fi movies, but Everything Everywhere All at Once was pretty good, so I definitely put it at 7.
All right, and then at my number 7, I don't know. This movie felt like kind of wrong to put on this list for me, but like I really couldn't find much else. And it was a good movie. I mean, it is sci-fi, but I have Avatar, the new one.
Oh,
So Avatar 2.
okay.
So I guess I mean this one I liked it a lot more than the first one. I was an avid hater of the first one.
Damn.
Like I did dislike that movie. Then I rewatched it. I was like, okay, it's not and I watched the second one. I was like, wow, this is good. I guess like if you don't call the movie itself a lot of science, like a lot of background to this movie and how it was made was involved a lot of science. Like the director James Cameron, he invented so much technology to make this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it took 15 years to make. So like I guess you could call that sort of science and sci-fi related. And yeah, overall the story, everything about this was good. Obviously the visuals was like probably the most highlight.
Peak.
Yeah,
Peak.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
would have been mad if they didn't win the Oscar for that.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I didn't put Avatar, just because I kind of consider that as like a cinematic universe,
Yeah,
but
that's why
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean it's chill, yeah. So for number 6, I got The Imitation Game. So that is the story. Um, shoot, I forgot his name. Alan Turing. No, Alan Turing, yes. So he that's when he made his like the sort of the first computer during World War II, and that sort of led to the British getting a major edge during that war. And it was actually a really good movie. Benedict Cumberbatch, that's his name. Yes. Benedict Cumberbatch, man, he actually did such good acting in there. And just the whole storyline, how it progressed and everything, the pacing, I liked it a lot. But obviously, since it's like just about World War II and sort of like the invention of the computer, In terms of interest level for me, I'd rate it about like a 7 out of 10. But otherwise, like the movie itself, that was also like probably around like an 8. That it was pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one, but I have to. It's on my list. Okay, so for my number six, this isn't more actually it's a lot of science in this movie, but it's Arrival
Oh,
by Denis Villeneuve.
nice.
It's like sci-fi with aliens, right? But the story was great. The twist at the end was very surprising. I actually watched this movie first with my dad in theaters. I like low-key forgot. I used to be like really scared of like aliens. So like watching this movie with him, like when it
Nice.
came out, I was like a little scared, but like then I watched it again at home, like more recently, and then I actually like understood again, really good deep meaning. And yeah, Denis Villeneuve, the director, another top 10 director for me.
Oh.
So yeah.
Wait, what was the twist at the end? I forgot about that.
It was like they were trying to like communicate they were like trying to communicate to them right the whole time about I think it was something to do with like their future. Like it was talking about like
Huh.
or like I didn't remember like exactly the logistics. I have to watch this again. It's actually been a while. But like I know it had something to do with like what they were trying to communicate and what she was trying to translate the whole time.
All right, now we're getting into the good ones, like the top five. Like these are like the movies that I just like remember wholeheartedly, and I've
Yeah.
seen them multiple
I
times.
feel like a lot of these are gonna be like similar for
Yeah,
both
pretty
of
much the
us.
same. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well,
number
let's see.
five, I got The Social Network. Great, great movie, the storyline and everything. It was great to learn about like the story of Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and everything. And Jesse Eisenberg, man, he's a great actor. He played just the whole Mark persona really good. And I just love. Oh, and Justin Timberlake was in there too. He did a great job as Sean Parker. And I mean, you still see memes about this movie. You still see like clips from there on TikTok and everywhere. And it's just an amazing sort of true story movie about, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. And it was just really great to see. The reason why I put it at 5 is just because, the ones above are just much better than that. But, The Social Network is still an amazing movie. I definitely give it like an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, so, I've seen that. I love it. You might see it on my list later, but okay. So, and then at number five, I have The Martian.
Not,
Um,
damn, that is low.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
like the ones above it significantly more,
damn,
but yeah, The
okay.
Martian is amazing. Really good space story. Obviously, like with Mars. I know, like this is like a really big science movie because there's actually like people like tested what he did in the movie in real life, pretty sure, to see if that
Yeah,
was like actually, I don't like it wasn't true, right? I don't think that was possible, like using feces to like as soil on Mars to
maybe.
grow.
I don't know.
I think they tested that theory and debunked it. But
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
again, a lot of science behind this movie. And yeah, it's a really good space movie. And yeah, it's at my number five.
Nice, nice. And now coming into number 4, this has been a movie that I've watched since I was a kid, rewatched a couple of times. The Theory of Everything. It's a story about one of my big time favorite scientists of all time, Stephen Hawking. And it was just an amazing story of, battling with ALS and having to overcome that and just becoming the genius that he is now. Eddie Redmayne, top performance, probably my favorite performance of him of all time. The acting in this was just incredible. It deserves the Oscar for it. I forgot what it won an Oscar for, but it definitely won an Oscar for something. The supporting cast was also amazing too. It was just an all-around really great movie. And that's based on a true story too, related to science. It was just great altogether.
Yeah, again, I've not watched that one, but I have to
Definitely should.
on my list. Yeah, okay. At my number four, one that you have mentioned earlier, but it is Dune. Um,
Dude, damn, that is
yeah,
high.
I love that movie. I love this so much. Like watching in theaters is just a different experience.
Oh yeah, that's
The
true.
soundtrack, again, top director, Denis Villeneuve. And yeah, the soundtrack, top tier, science fiction, like this whole like society of the Dune and like the world building. I'm so excited for the second one. Like again, like you mentioned before, like this was like an introduction to like the entire like franchise or whatever they're gonna do with this.
Yeah.
It was just the beginning. The cast was stacked. Also, the next one, the cast is gonna be even more stacked. I think there's
Jeez.
like Florence Pugh is gonna be,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Few more Zendaya is gonna be prominent in
Of course.
this.
Yeah.
She was only there for like the last 10 minutes.
The
And like
hair
that,
ad or something.
yeah, that ending at the end, like that was crazy. Like I was not expecting that. Like the runtime, like it's pretty long, the first one. I was just sitting in theaters and like I thought there was so much more to be left. I did not feel the runtime. And then it just ended and it was like, will be continued. I was like, whoa, okay. So that makes it even
Yeah.
more exciting for the second one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait till November.
All right, yeah. So my number three, you mentioned it before, but all time top three. It's like in my top five of all time too. But The Martian, amazing movie. You got first of all, you got the cast. You got Matt Damon, who's there, amazing. Jessica Chastain, Sebastian Stan, Donald
Wait, he
Glover was
was
in
in
there
that?
too. Yeah, he was in there too. Yeah,
Oh, what the heck?
Donald Glover was
Okay.
in there too. All around amazing cast. Second, it's about Mars. It's about space. It's actually pretty realistic too, hyper realistic. Verified for the most part by Neil deGrasse Tyson. They had to do science experiments just to verify the movie. That's how you know it's good, right? It was an amazing movie. It had a great storyline too. And it actually showed, what maybe life or like when we reach Mars, what that would look like, and that is just like it hits me in my soul, like that was just amazing, So that's why The Martian, all time, favorite, one of my favorite movies, but it's also an amazing science related movie as well.
Yep. Okay. Now at my number three, I have Inception. So
That's a good one.
Christopher Nolan, back at it again, with his time and actually no, this one is dreams. It was like time and dreams,
Yeah.
mainly dreams. But yeah, a lot of science. They actually explain like some of the science in this, and yeah, overall, again, amazing soundtrack as Christopher Nolan always brings to his movies with Hans Zimmer. And yeah, I love this movie a lot. I've seen it like twice. I gotta watch it again. A lot of these movies I gotta watch again. Like
Yeah.
they're just so good that I can watch it like a lot of times and not get bored.
Yeah. Funny thing is, my number two is Inception. And the reason why I put it above Martian is the cast, again, hella stacked. Leo DiCaprio, amazing actor. He's probably my number one. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy was in there, and it's directed by Chris Nolan too. Huge plus. You got Hans Zimmer's music, but it's kind of, I don't know. I don't really like the Inception. I mean, I like the Inception soundtrack, but it's not as good as like his other soundtracks. But it's there. The whole idea of dreams and the science behind it and everything, I love how Chris Nolan brings that hyper realism in there. And the storyline too, just the overall heist storyline to it. It's just it's also a mind-bending movie too, just how it just leaves you at the end just questioning a lot of things, it just hit so hard. So that was a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely my number two.
Okay, at my number two, I got The Social Network. So
Oh, dang. Okay, that's
I love this movie a lot. Top 10 of all time, top five actually, I think. But yeah, this movie is like more special to me because like I'm more into like technology science than like space science. And like, I mean, this was it had limited science, but like the whole like how Facebook started was really interesting. Basically like all these movies about big companies, I like really enjoy them. And yeah, I absolutely love this movie, and it's at my number two.
all right. And number one, as
That's gonna
probably
be a
most
big
people know,
surprise. Yeah,
huge surprise, Interstellar. If you guys don't already know, this is my number one movie of all time. It got me into space, it got me into aerospace engineering, and it's just amazing. I could talk hours about this movie, but let me give you the gist of why. First, we got the cast. We got Matthew McConaughey delivering the most amazing performance I've seen from him in this movie. We also got Jessica Chastain again. We got Michael Caine in there too. You also got uh Anne Hathaway. Why did I forget about her? Anne Hathaway in there too, delivering amazing performances. And the whole storyline of the movie about saving Earth, going through a black hole, this and that, everything related to space is just amazing. The visuals, the cinematography brings me to tears every time. And that's not to also say that the music doesn't do that too, because the music is a 10 out of 10 on this movie. I still listen to it to this day while studying and everything. I'm a huge fanboy for this movie, but it's just amazing. Everything about it's also directed by Chris Nolan too, just to add an extra plus to it. They wrote scientific papers on this movie with Kip Thorne and everything. It's just amazing. It will always be my number one movie of all time, and especially when it's science related, it's my number one movie of all time.
Okay, and then for my number one, to no one's surprise, it's also Interstellar.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, I mean, why
yeah.
would I not have this on the list?
I
Like,
don't know. I thought you put
what?
like, I don't know,
What?
Marvel shit. I don't know.
No, we said no Marvel. Anyway, even if there was Marvel on this would still be number one
Interstellar, of course.
because like this movie hits every time. I've watched this like three times, actually maybe like four times. I watched it like two times in like 1 month, like more recently.
Yeah.
Like this movie's amazing. Like with everything you said, like the cast. You also forgot Matt Damon is in this,
Oh yeah, right.
and
Matt
then
Damon. Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, the soundtrack, a lot of the science. Some of these the one scene with like the video clips after they go to Miller's planet that
Oh,
like
yeah.
brings tears to my eyes every
Hits
time.
me in my soul, of
Yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. Christopher Nolan.
course.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time, so no surprise that it hits the top 10 sci-fi movies.
Of course. All
Yeah.
right. And there you have it. Our top 10 favorite science related movies of all time. Also, we just finished our first episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed our first episode. We hope to be a lot better throughout our time doing this. Also bring on more guests to do some more, different types of rankings than just our top 10 favorite movies of all time or top 10 favorite science related movies. We try to bring in something different to the table here, and we hope to keep on doing that for you guys. And as you've all probably know, you're watching this on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe, give us a like, comment, share with everybody that you know, and stay tuned for more episodes. We'll see you
Yep.
guys later.
Thank you.